Amusing, to say the least. Rude, but amusing. Oh, so I got Division 1 as well, and apparently, yeah, my old save is compatible. Hell yeah. So for $3, I got Division 1 again. uh, I know. Everything is so, like... I bought a couple movies. One of them I haven't seen yet. I'm going to watch it tonight. Another movie I did watch, and it was a dud, unfortunately. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that. But then I watched also a fantastic show from a director I've always liked. So we'll talk about that here in a second too. Oh yeah. I'm good. I've got the holes in my mouth. You gotta fill in. They're taking their sweet time. But, it is what it is. Right. So, I got 10 pages written over the weekend. And I wish I had gotten more. I feel like I could have gotten more. But 10 more pages in Piercing the Veil. So Piercing the Veil is now 31 pages in. And I like some of the interactions here. So, let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to it. Alright, I'm going to go back over a little bit what we've done. I'm just going to start at Chapter 2. We're just going to go from Chapter 2. Chapter 2, to be a foundation for others. A howl came up from the woods, and this caused Kenneth to turn his head towards it, even giving a nervous laugh as he scratched the side of his cheek. Did that sound awfully close to you? Theo nodded his head in agreement, for he too offered a nervous chuckle and waved a hand. Best not to linger, especially if it's them out there. I'm sorry, what? What? Theo blinked a few times and turned his focus back to the garage's side door, set off from the two big metal shutters that allowed vehicles ingress to the base. This absurd level of security extended to the door itself, which looked as if it was right off a warship, and that once again required Theo to input a code. Yet this is when Ken's confusion became most apparent, as they stepped inside the room, which suddenly had no security measures at all, and looked like a plain, average, run-of-the-mill garage. The only evidence to the contrary was the heavy door behind him, and the 4 vehicles that looked to be over-engineered and armored monstrosities. Currently looking over one of the trucks was a man who was meticulously cleaning the underside. Said truck had reinforced slats on the windows, oversized shock absorbers, reinforced plates along the entire length, a caged-in rear with extra 5-point harness seats inside it, with the same seating in the cab. Though the burned man didn't know it, the tires were run flats for military vehicles. A snorkel was placed for the engine to get airflow, even if submerged, and a souped-up 12-cylinder engine with twin radiators for cooling gave it life. The front end of the truck also had a hefty bumper that looked as if it would smash through a wall with ease. A second identical truck was parked in a spot nearby, while an up-armored SUV and a literal SWAT-armored transport made up the remaining vehicles. Let me pause here for a second. I want to change that off of SWAT. I had a different acronym I wanted to use for it. Oh yeah, START. Yeah. A Special Tactics and Rescue Team Armored Transport. Yeah, START. Or I was thinking it could either be Star or Start. We're just gonna do special tactics and rescue. Armored transport made up the remaining vehicles. To say they were merely defensive would be an understatement. Yet this garage looked to be impeccably well maintained and orderly. It could almost be described as clinical, with only the current deluge of water mixed with various dirts and grime from the power washing being undertaken. Yeah, stars, because that's Special Tactics and Rescue Squad. And it's like, I like the Special Tactics and Rescue thing. SWAT is Special Weapons and Tactics is the name. That's the name of the team. That's what SWAT actually means. And I was like, I couldn't do the hostage rescue. So yeah, hostage rescue was out. It's like that makes it sound too like terroristy sort of thing, right? So I was like, what would be good for, like, instead of calling it SWAT? Because the police in this setting don't have, like, it's not a whatchamacallit, like, the police just get pea shooters and the SWAT are the only ones that have rifles and things like that, you know? So I'm like, special weapons and tactics, it's not as fitting in Rosentia. So having it instead be special tactics and rescue makes more sense. More consistent than a clock. Kenneth Ashwood, I give you bolts. Theo made a somewhat grandiose display of waving towards the man currently washing, who looked back with a sour look. Maybe let's do turn back. Then carefully reached up and hooked the washer onto a line waiting above before coming closer. You left before I could check the car. The words came out harshly and with a low grumble that matched the displeased look upon the man's face. A face well worn with worry and hardship, even a few scars, some of which looked to be surgical, as well as the crooked nature of a once broken nose. Oh, shit. Theo's words were quick, and a small creeping smile came over his face as the worry became more plain. You think I like worrying about all this, eh? Bolts took a step closer. The man looked to be just above average height, with a wide build and powerful frame. His black hair and mustache were both very neatly maintained, and his green eyes stood in a stark contrast to his fairer skin tone. I don't think you appreciate how hard it is for me, do you, Theo? I swear I do, Bolts. The man shook his head and brought a hand up. No. Bolts is when we're on business. This is personal between you and me, lad. Ken didn't know what to do or say, and thus took a step back to avoid being in the direct line of confrontation. A rather smooth move, if he had to admit to himself, once Bolts grabbed Theo's jacket. Okay, easy. Theo let out a gag as Bolt pulled him into a deep hug. Okay, Mitchell, please. You never think about how I feel, Theo. You're my apprentice, and I hadn't inspected that car in 2 months. Who knows if something couldn't have broken or come loose? Mitchell let up on Theo, who coughed a few times and took some deep breaths. You do this for everyone, Mitch. You know we trust you and your work is solid. So, chill with the freak out, alright, man? This is when Theo looked at Ken and gave a shrug. His fear extends to all of us, too. Can't even take a taxi. He has to be the one to inspect the vehicle, or else he'll... He will bike everywhere? What the fuck? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let's make more emphasis. Yeah, okay, fix that. He has to be the one to inspect the vehicle, or else he'll take a bicycle everywhere. Don't talk about me while I'm standing right here, Theo. Besides, do you know how many accidents and deaths are caused by faulty vehicle maintenance? Well, I guess I could see that. I can't stand being anywhere near lighters now. When I see people lighting up for a smoke, it makes my skin crawl. That sensation up the back of my spine. Ken shivered a little and let out a sigh before extending a hand out towards Bolts. Kenneth Ashwood. Bolts took a hold of the hand and gave it a good shake, the grip strength catching Ken off guard, but he simply nodded his head. Mitchell Vanzini. Man, it's hard to say this last name. That's what I get for making, like, regional specific names. Mitchell Vanzinzi. Before you ask, third generation. Family came from Arcus, south of those dickheads in the dwarf clanholds. So, what line of work were you in, Kenneth? I was actually in construction. Had a new job lined up before the fire and such. Theo gave a whistle and smiled. Well. We'd always use a handyman around here. We'll put Rock Bottom's mind at ease. Rock Bottom? I get it's a code name, but what kind of code name is that? It came from a joke Schrade played on her. Though she chose to make it her code name, well, it's because she is into Schrade. Don't be coy. Besides, lest we forget your code name, Snake Charmer. Kenneth did not speak a word, but turned and raised a brow, though he had partially suspected the reason why with Sevix and the scepter that Theo had before. It was a bit on the nose, but because I contracted with Sevix first, and I work here at the Mahako Shrine, it kind of, well, it seemed appropriate. Same reasons Bolts is Bolts. Gets into the nuts and bolts of our vehicles. Really, most hunters, or watchmen, or whatever myriad name you want to give us, will pick a code name associated with their personal function. That has not been evidenced at all, Snake Charmer. Bolts called out before the power washer drowned out anything else the man may have wanted to say. It was then that Theo took Ken aside and grumbled some, drawing him away from the garage and towards a hall. Don't listen to him. I know I'm right about this. So what is everyone else's code name then? Snake Charmer suddenly looked a bit flustered and thought hard for a moment before he looked at Kenny and nervously smiled. Well, the shrine here may well be an exception that proves the rule, you see. Right? So what are the names? Theo didn't respond and instead knocked on an open door few times before he then stepped inside and spoke up. Cool. Hey, Dale. Showing a potential new recruit around the base. Kenneth frowned some before he rolled his eyes and stepped into the room, where he was greeted by several workbenches with weapons, both bladed and firearms, spread around in various states. Oh, fuck! The words brought Ken back to the realization that Theo was scared of said blades, had to turn and look away. This then brought a chuckle from the man seated at one of the benches who was currently fully cleaning a shotgun he had disassembled. Serves you right, Snake Charmer. Could hear you out in the hall. Said man was bald, looked to be taller than average, and was built like a top athlete, which made Kenneth whistle some before he stepped up and extended a hand. Kenneth Ashwood. Oh, pleasure to meet you. Name is Dale Elkin, former NDA. My code name is Dowerman. In contrast to the name, the man had bright blue eyes and a smile plastered firmly on his face. The look of mirthful joy at Theo's discomfort certainly added distance from the name and the impression. Little Theodore Victari here is a good man, if a bit too overeager. If you need a bit of a calmer hand, let me or Father Rose know. Theo could do little but wave a hand sheepishly back as he stumbled towards the door. Clearly the sight of the blades had really done a number on him. I'll keep that in mind, Dowerman. Mind if I ask what brought you out of the NDA? Also got some other questions, but we can start with that. Dale let out a laugh and slowly stood from the bench before he grabbed at his shirt and raised it up. There on his body were several scars that seemed to come from gunshot wounds, which made Kenneth all the more curious. I know what you're thinking, Ken. Looks like you got shot. So is his fear guns? Nope. Drowning, actually. I was in the NDA. The compound I worked at came under attack by Grey Wolf. 4 rounds into my chest as I was checking the base's water tanks. Body spasmed and I went over the railing into the tank. Wait, the NDA were attacked? By Grey Wolves? This is when Theo could be heard after taking a few breaths, and from the sound he was still outside the room. He was still looking outside the room. Ugh. Grey Wolf, some private military or private security group. No one. Theo, I think I can give more information about this, yeah? Dale had let his shirt lower and folded his arms over his chest. Once Theo gave acknowledgement of it, he began to speak. Nasty group that came out of nowhere about a 1.5 years back. Started attacking NDA bases near La Pratia, then hit us over in Danesport. The leader is a former NDA guy, too. Apparently has a nasty chip on his shoulder against the department. Should you, be telling me this? You know, with the NDA, you signed one for sure, yeah? Don't worry. Former NDA. I'm not spilling secrets. No operational stuff here, but just giving a heads up. Grey Wolf are very well armed and coordinated. They also have some actual wolves in the group. Kenneth blinked a few times. What does that mean? Theo again butt in quickly. We can discuss that later, Kenny. Let Dale finish. Do not try to go against Grey Wolf. They aren't out here on the west coast, yet. They are making waves. Their names are coming up on the Spirit Net all the time now. Can barely go a day without a new round of scuttlebutt getting shared. Right now it's a shadow war between the NDA and Grey Wolf. Looks like the GW are winning it pretty handily, too. Even rumored that a full region of the NDA has already defected to their side. How the NDA are always held up as the boogeymen of the Republic, the defenders of the nation and keepers of secrets. That may well be why the NDA are losing. As I said before, Grey Wolf's leader is a former NDA, and he very likely has some nasty information about the agency. Thus handling him and his group have to be done very carefully. Also, I hate to break some of the mysticism around the NDA, but it is very... What's a good word for it? Cumbersome? Lethargic? Theo's word suggestions were met with Dale either shaking a hand as they didn't fit quite so well, or tapping his chin to feel how the word fit in describing them. Sluggish? Bloated? Close. Perhaps we can just say, instead of one word, let's lay out some of the groundwork. The NDA is very independent in its operational capacities, but this leads to corruption. Some of it more bland and mundane. Like in Danesport, our commander had embezzled some funds and misappropriated others. But before you jump to conclusions, he took the embezzled money and used it to help his sister's son get through his surgery. And the misappropriated funds were to give the agents under his command a bonus for Saints' Night. Pretty terrible stuff. It isn't like the NDA can keep track well either, because of the demand to obfuscate everything. However, this corruption coming so easy would logically mean Dale waved his hand lightly to see if Kenneth picked up what he was trying to say. If corruption is that common, then how bad can the corruption be? And what does the leader of Grey Wolf know that makes him so determined to destroy the NDA? Exactly. I like you a lot, Ken. See, when I was dropped, I was a potential hostile combatant. I fell into the water tanks, was drowning and barely able to move my body from the wounds I sustained. Motor function was hampered severely, you see. I was starting to black out, but barely turned and was able to get onto my back, thus saving my life right before my body would have involuntarily inhaled and drowned me. I still get nightmares about being in that tank. Well, once Grey Wolf was done clearing the base, they realized I was still alive. The blood hadn't clotted well because of the water, but at the same time, the cool water kept my heart rate down so I wasn't bleeding faster. Turns and roundabouts. They fished me out of the tank when one of them kept sniffing me and checking me over. It was that one that used his gifts to heal my wounds, because he could tell I had awakened, though I didn't know it at the time. What happened next? Kenneth was clearly hooked on the story and eagerly awaited the next crumb of it. They rounded up all the surviving members, including the base commander who had been hit in both arms. They wanted to make sure he was alive in case they needed to make an example of him. Oh, nasty belch. Ugh. This is when the search through our files began and everything was laid bare for us. We're also given an ultimatum once we were shown the rot inside. Apparently not all of it, because some of it was far too distressing. We could sign on to work with Grey Wolf, or be let out into the world. Should we be taken in another NDA raid, we'd not be given another chance. This was it. Sign on or sign out of the NDA. I gotta admit, when I saw some of the files, the human experiments, the blackmail, the torture chambers, and knowing there was darker stuff still, pretty much shattered my belief in the agency. Which had been good to me, but that was because of Commander Heggeth being a good guy. I couldn't sign on with Grey Wolf, though. It was one thing to leave the NDA, another to turn my guns on former comrades. But they respected that choice. Only later I found out about the wolves properly. I also found out Commander Heggeth has now been working for them. Amazing what a difference a year makes, yeah? Who knows? One day I'll find myself working with Grey Wolf in the future. You mentioned wolves again. What do you mean? I'll let... The two men both stopped as they realized they had both stumbled into each other's words. But finally Dale continued on. I'll let Father Rose fill you in on that. He has dealt with them and the others more directly. For now, though, hope you'll join us. You aren't alone out there, Ken. It's always good to find more comrades. We can be there to help you in the tough times, and act as a foundation for you, just as the Book of Revelations say. Kenneth gave a nod of his head and tapped his foot some in thought, before he looked up at Dale and offered a smile. I'm certainly thinking about it. Well, new question. But first, how do you guys pay for all this? I mean, his armory is well supplied. I can make an argument that it's basic gear and equipment, but then I see a lathe in the back, some other equipment. I don't know. What looks like grenades. That isn't even mentioning the garage we just came from, which had 4 armored vehicles. Looks like custom machining equipment. What I mean is, this isn't just some place that cleans up things or basic maintenance. This all looks like a militia factory or some crazy... Like those things you see in the movies and shows. The secret Imperial spy cells. This made Dale laugh again, and he nodded his head in amusement. Well, I can assure you we aren't a spy cell. More like hunters. Our kind have a lot of names, but we're all over the world. Keep connected through the spirit net, which take what you read on there with a grain of salt. It's like big fish stories on there a lot. As for the money, some of it comes from the government financing the local shrines, some donations, wealthy patrons in a few cases, and some of us still do regular work to pool resources. I do custom gunsmithing and etching blades and such, so that brings some money in. Bolts has a tow company under his name. He works alongside on the off days he has here. Schrade, of course, does bounty hunting. Would be shocked if Snake Charmer over there didn't tell you about him. Man doesn't have an off switch. He just keeps pushing himself more and more. You see him in action, and it's just a thing of pure beauty. Will-O-Wisp is a hell of a cook. Will cater for big events and such. Trust me, you're going to love that she is here. Dodger owns a private medical practice and is our resident sawbones, as it were. Should see her about your leg. Ken looked down at it for a time and then gave a shrug. It's nothing. Doctors did all they could for it. It can't be. Hey, think about where you are. Think about what you are and what we are. Dale slowly turned and picked up a bullet that had yet to be reloaded back into a casing. He then closed his eyes and started to chant something before blowing on the end. After showing the bullet, he threw it into the trash can and there was a loud snap, which made Ken jump for a moment. Through my contract with Kadar, a spirit of warfare, I can imbue greater power into munitions. My bullets explode if I wish for them to, can penetrate heavy body armor even without a steel core, add incendiary effects, or even curve them in flight. But that last one takes a hell of a lot of energy out of me and Kadar. Don't think that because the mundane world has done all it can for you, that there is no hope for something more. I'm newer to all this, and I can do all those things. Father Rose and Schrade have had these abilities for decades more than I. Dodger will fix your leg and make it like new again. We owe so much to the spirits that we can now see in the world. Even this little smithy of an armory, and in the garage you came from, there are spirits around us. As if to make a point, Dowerman opened a drawer on a nearby workbench and reached inside before carefully pulling out a little kitten. It was clear it was no ordinary cat, for it looked to be made of coal, with deep pulsating veins across it like fire from within. This is not Kadar. It is just a local spirit that has taken residence here in the armory. An old myth from Haladin, back when it was known as Gasparin, and was not on the border of the kingdom of Sahir, the blacksmith's cat was a sign of good fortune. They would keep the smith's company as they worked the forge, keeping the rats at bay from eating the coal-bearing sacks, and from contaminating the various powders and reagents used. Thus some spirits formed in the shape of cats that bless the working of metals. Thus Firemane here is a boon to any work I perform here. The cat made of coal slowly yawned and stretched out some, before it hopped from Dale's hand and started to walk across the workbench towards Ken. It then sat up and looked at him before tilting its head. Oh, new face. Fire-kissed face. Ken's eyes stared into its mouth as it opened, his breathing getting sharp and heavy as the panic started to settle in. It was only as Dale looked between Firemane and Ken that he realized what was happening, and then quickly spoke up. All right, thank you, Firemane. May you continue to bless our work with your tempering flame. This made the cat turn to acknowledge a source of praise, and even prance around before Dowerman offered the cat to settle back into its chosen resting spot, which it gladly accepted. This is when Kenneth felt like he could breathe, after staring into the flame of the cat's mouth. Sorry, Kenneth. I didn't think about it until... The point being, you're in a whole new world now, my friend. This was Theo's cue to turn back, just enough so he could reach out and touch Ken's shoulder and draw him towards the door. Come on, Kenny. Let's go meet the rest of the team. And we can have Dodger fix up your leg. It was only then that Ken could remember the strange crackling sound coming from the phone in his pocket that should have been dead. That last fact was forgotten in the influx of new information and the world twisting atop itself, inverting from the cold cruelty to a strange new vibrancy he never expected. Further down from the armory, they went past a couple bedrooms that had been installed for comfort. This is also when Theo abruptly stopped them as a different serpent came slithering out from a room where the sounds of snoring were coming. Oh, hell. Hey, Exthis. Exthis? You doing all right? The snake, which looked to be a strange, hazy thing, turned its head to look at Theo, tongue dancing out to the taste of the air before it slithered up towards him. Strangely, Theo's grip tightened on Ken, which made him tense up even more. A dream was promised. This made Theo nervously chuckle. Yes, it was, but, that was before I realized how terribly vivid your dreams are. The snake flicked its tongue out again. Its face was almost not there, and yet was unmistakable. Its body was a black but shimmered with purple pearlescence as it moved, while its eyes seemed to be a deep pool that could easily swallow you. She doesn't seem to mind. The snake's head nodded towards the room it just came from, which made Theo look before then turning to face Exthis once more. That's not fair, though. She can control her dreams. I can't, and you intensify them to a level that is very uncomfortable. A dream was promised. It will be paid. You have 2 more dreams to give me before your debt is settled. Only then will I allow you my gift. The snake then reared its head back and began to open its mouth wider, its fangs now starting to fold out and ready to strike. This made Snake Charmer throw up both hands and cry out, Wait! Okay! I can try. I mean, I'll let you into my dream tonight. Just no venom, please. I'll let you in. Does that sound amenable? Amenable. Yeah. Exthis did not answer, but its fangs folded back and away, for it closed its mouth and merely turned to slither. A strange, cold confidence seemed to exude from the spirit, while Theo grumbled, Fuck. Hope I have a good dream tonight. Is what the snake offers worth it? I don't know, Ken. She was said to be able to grant me the ability to put people to sleep, which would be incredibly handy for us. But the dreams she inflicts are just way more visceral than you would expect. She says she doesn't control the dreams, merely observes them, but her observations make them very intense. Fucking Rockbottom, though, is one of those people that near constantly lucid dreams. She can steer and maneuver her dreams if she wishes. As the pair continued on, this allowed him to look into her room, where he saw her taking a nap. She was probably the most stunningly beautiful woman he had ever seen, which made him audibly gasp. Okay, come on, she isn't that pretty. What do you mean? She is my sister. Beautiful. Your sister? She awakened in a totally different way, completely unrelated to how I did. Remember I made mention she was afraid of heights? Well, she was in a helicopter at the time, when the tail rotor stopped functioning. The thing spun and sputtered before it plummeted down. The stress on the top rotor caused one of the blades to bend, and the thing dropped like a rock. Hit the hillside hard. Killed the pilot and co-pilot immediately. She got ejected along with her seat and nearly broke her neck. Instead, broke several other bones. Seat saved the neck, shattered her collarbone and hip bone in both legs. Holy shit! Is that why she's called No, wait, you said a prank Shrade played on her. Yeah. Well, after that whole ordeal, when she used to love being in the air, she became terrified of heights. She does note it's strange. She can be in underground facilities. No matter if she can see down a chasm, it doesn't bother her. But the moment she is above ground, instant freeze up if she goes too high. Too high in this case is a vague and nebulous, tied directly into how sturdy she feels the construction of whatever she is currently occupying is. Old house creaking? She won't make it to the attic. Anyways, Shrade told her to sit her bottom on a big rock he found, and she would never be afraid again. She listened to him, sat down, right into the sticky tar he had placed on it, and she couldn't get up. Thus, couldn't go higher and solve their problem. Plus, she became the butt of many jokes. However, she accepted the nickname that Shrade started calling her as her code name. Rock Bottom. Yep. Again, it was a total fluke and coincidence that she awakened like I did, but apparently it isn't totally unheard of. A lot of people face near-death experiences every day around the world. Only a tiny portion of those awaken, but it is never a 0% chance. Some of whole families awaken when a wildfire rages through and burns down a home, or a tornado or massive tidal wave. Air crashes and the family walks away. Unlikely, but never impossible. Well, she is absolutely gorgeous. Still my sister. Must be hard for you. Kenneth offered a smile at Theo, who groaned and rolled his eyes. I take back what I said before. I hate you. I mean, just look at her. Stop. What? At least double? Maybe triple D's? No, triple E's. And that ass. I see why Shrade was so interested in the bottom. Beautiful amber hair and... Kenneth flinched and groaned as Theo delivered a swift punch to his arm. Right. Moving along. Theo's grip on his arm became vice-like once more as he dragged Ken with him. This up ahead is the kitchen, and where our Will-O-Wisp whips up incredible delicacies for us. Kenneth just... Get punched, idiot. Yep. Deserved, but, you know. You've all had those moments where you're like, okay, this... No, the teasing must commence. Kenneth just simply glared at Theo, who at first was going to groan, but then had to stifle a laugh. The intense stare of the man who was clearly trying his best not to continue the joke, but finding it hard to resist, was in and of itself far too amusing for Snake Charmer to handle. The quivering lip that Ken was failing to keep from twitching as he smiled from his own internalized joke and wanted to keep a straight face added icing to the cake. The two of them standing there giggling with barely contained laughter brought attention to themselves as Will-O-Wisp walked over. Oh, what's so funny, you two? Kenneth's eyes turned to look at her, and he was suddenly shocked out of his feedback loop. Here stood a strikingly tall woman, clearly at least 6 foot, and the definition of a mother figure. She had aged with incredible grace, and with a beautiful face that had purple eyes, a rarity that came from the kingdom of Sahir originally. Her skin was fair in complexion, and she had black hair that was lightly showing some grays along it. Ah, fuck, Kenneth, meet Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, Kenneth Ashwood. Jasmine Alari. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Ashwood. And that's what we have thus far. Yeah. I said I like the interactions thus far in this. As we're slowly meeting the team. And of course laying the foundational like marks out towards other stuff that's happening in setting in the universe. Like Dale Elkin is able to tell directly about Grey Wolf and the NDA going to war with each other. But then he's also able to tell that the wolves, that they're actual wolves in Grey Wolf. Because when an awakened, when one of the hunters or hunters, watchmen, whatever you want to call them, right? When they are looking at things, they can see the spirits. Well, they can see all of the shifters, the werewolves, were-ravens, were-sharks, and all that stuff like that. They can see them no matter what form they're in. They don't see their true form, but they see it as like a haze, an outline around them. And it like gives away the game, so to speak. Because remember, Wolverine, Revorin, Crodoxin, and all that stuff like that, they are half spirits. Like they don't become half spirits like what the Awakened do here through accident. Theirs is because it's their species trait. But they do stand out. This is also why in Den of the Arctic Wolf, because again, in Victoria Vink is actually going to awaken. Like, she was on death's door, she was dying. Obviously, her body started the process of spiritification, but she survived because of what Alex did. It's why Alex mentions to Vingalik about the strange smell. Like, she doesn't smell like a normal person does. She smells more like a spirit. Ugh. Which is also one of the reasons why Hilda and Sheriff John Brenner were more willing to allow for Victoria to know these things, because she doesn't smell like a human. Once they got over the fact that she had soiled herself and everything like that, because John had only first smelled her when she stank. Like, right, her body was breaking down, she shit herself. Like, she was in a bad state. Kind of hard to get over the pungency of that the initial burst. Yeah. Okay. I like that this is going well. It'll be the the tearful moment's gonna be when Kenneth gets to talk with his fiance. He'll get to go into an area where you can contact the other side, and his fiance basically fills him in on some of the gaps of, like, things that happen. She appreciates Ken more than he realizes, even though it's like, I'm sad we're not together, but life is for the living. Ken, you're gonna have to move on. Like, I'm not gonna be there, and you, I hope, are gonna have a long life. So move on from me. And you've already given me, like, the most precious thing, and you didn't even realize it. You were injured severely in the fire, and instead of trying to make a break for yourself or to escape or anything like that, you crawled to me. You crawled to me and tried to help me. And yeah, you fell through the floor. You didn't have a choice in that matter. But in the final moments, I got to see who you truly were, what your priorities were, and your priority was to get to me. Like, more than anything, that goes beyond any, like, oh, I love you sort of things. Like, that shows I was the most precious thing to you. I was more important to you than your own life was. You didn't try to get into the hallway or try to get to the fire escape or anything like that. No, you specifically came there to try and get to me. So, yeah. And a little more tearful moment coming, for sure. And then, of course, laying a little bit with the phone being weird, that the fact that Scratch is there. Scratch is coming in to try to deliver some poison. Poison for the soul. Okay. So, beyond that, let's talk about 2 movies I watched. One of them I'm very disappointed in, and the other one was a lot better than I thought it would be. And I want to get to, hang on, I need to get to the lot better than I thought it would be one, because I just kind of thrown it on the side to have something, right? So let me try to get to that moment in the show, in the movie. Oh, you have proactive ads. Oh, gross. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, well, I'm going to undo the ads. Well, fuck you very much. I say, I cast, fuck you. uh... Okay. Okay. Here we go. So, first movie I watched, and we're going to talk about a series too, from a great director. But the first movie I watched was a movie called Nobody. And what I didn't expect was for Nobody to be actually a really fun ride. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. And to see Christopher Lloyd, yes, that Christopher Lloyd, in his very, very advanced years, pulling some badass shit was hilarious. All right. I gotta try to get a little bit more. A little more. I'm trying to get to the part without showing it real quick. But yeah. So here we go. Get rid of the X-ray. I wish the X-ray thing would go away like forever when you push it, you know? Oh. Oh. Good. Look at that. That speed. Pinky right there to stop the hammer. Like, oh, it's perfect. Perfect. And then that surprise shotgun. Dude, I loved him in this movie. I loved Christopher Lloyd in this movie. He was so fucking good. You don't get him very much in this movie, but he is so good in this movie. No, it's a double barrel. It's not a tri-barrel, it's a double barrel. See? No, it's just a it's just a double barrel. Oh my god, and he loves it too. He uses that double barrel a lot. Oh. Oh my god, it's such a that's such a fucking surprise. Chunk. Huh? And I love that his little smirk. His little smirk is what makes it. I love his little smirk he has after. Look at his little smirk. Look at his little smirk as he looks over at the other guy like, friend's dead. Now do you know what's going to happen to you next? Oh my god. Oh, dude. Nobody's a fun movie. Like, you could take this as set in the same universe as John Wick. But that's just me because, well, there's the same car that John has, but it's white. Yeah. That would be a fun nod to things, but yeah, it was a very fun movie. Very, very fun movie. I recommend it. It was actually quite enjoyable. Now, for the movie that was not very enjoyable and was very disappointing. I paid for this movie and I regret it immediately. The Wolf of Snow Hollow. A werewolf movie. Or like a very awkward and awful, like terrible feeling movie. The jokes just don't land. It's supposed to be like a comedy. It's a humorous comedy movie. Like the sheriff department is kind of inept when we're following like the sheriff's son. And it's like just the comedy just isn't enjoyable. They're just constantly berating him, talking how much of a shithead he is, and he was an alcoholic and stuff like that. And the wife is a bitch and stuff like that, and it's like she always disparages him, and it's like it's just not an enjoyable like watch. The werewolf is interesting though, but it's if I can get to the part where there's a part where she fights back against it. She looks directly like dead in the face and is like hang on, I gotta get to the
text me to tell me that you might not be able to make it to her orientation. They say if you don't
here you can hear the wife who's a bitch.
Okay, well, she's gonna be a lot safer living with me than she will be with you in Upperville, and that's for sure. Hi, sweetie, how are you?
Something? Hey, Dad.
Yeah, coffee.
She's gonna need help with her move. So, are you gonna be supportive or not?
Hi, Brittany. Jenna, like I said in that voicemail, there's going to be a lot of late nights and overtime because of the brutal murder that happened in town.
Yep.
And I got to catch the guy, and I didn't want to set up expectations that I can't keep.
Oh no, our expectations of you are very low. She is 17 and starting college with a gymnastics scholarship. It is a big deal.
Again, the wife is the total fucking wank stain. These are the fucking Karens. These are the people that you're just like, just please. Go away forever. I swore that was the one where she saw the wolf like full on. Yeah, because that's the first murder. Oh, yeah.
I need to make sure you're gonna be there.
Yes! Brittany, I'm going to be there, okay? How much coffee have you had today? Can we not do this at Bonanza's? Jesus Christ, I have a nicer time at Abu Ghraib. Thank you so much.
All right. I think this is... I'm trying to get to the part so you can see what the wolf looks like. Because it's jumping back and forth between her dying and then obviously Brittany being a wanker. Yeah. Again, it looks good. It looks like the werewolf looks good. But it's just such a miserable movie. Like all that stuff you heard in the background chat, that's the entire comedy beat in the movie. It's just angry people being angry at each other. And like being lazy. Angry lazy people being lazily angry at each other. And then like there's no like real redemption here. There's no like none of the stuff makes sense of how like this guy was the red herring all along, but it's so obvious that he was the red herring because there's no like connective tissue or anything like that. To any like there's no logical reason why he deduces anything he deduces at the end of the movie to figure out who the werewolf is. And on top of that, like, as it turns out, like, there's just... You have the Sherlock problem where people just have information that they glean out of nothing to, like, figure out everything. It's a very, very miserable movie with very miserable comedy. And yeah, again, the werewolf looks awesome. But it just doesn't make any sense. It's like they like what's the way to put it? It's like they didn't want to commit. Okay? They didn't want to commit. Because you see him do all this stuff like this. Like, he literally took her arm off. Right? He just took her arm off. Everything like that. And you can see she's fucked. He's going to be dead. But they didn't want to commit to it actually being supernatural. So, in the end, this is a werewolf costume that this dude's wearing. Even though he's clearly growling like this, and he has incredible strength and everything like that, and they just like it's just a cosplay costume at the end, and he catches the guy in a way that doesn't make any sense. He's like, something you said set me off. Could you stand up at your full height? And so the dude does, and it's just like that's how he gets caught. It's yeah, I can't rip an arm off, can you? And look at the way it was ripped off too. Yeah. You see what I mean? Like, and again, the thing is snarling, for God's sakes. The thing is snarling. And you're telling me what we find out later is that, no, this is a costume. Watch its face. It actually, like, opens its mouth and snarls. No, it's very advanced. Very advanced costume. But it's a costume. Very advanced costume. But it's just a costume, bro. It's... The dude folds a sheriff deputy in half. He literally folds a sheriff deputy in half. Hold on, let's get to that part. Yeah, right here. You saw it for a split second. Look at that. He folded the dude in half. Yeah, he folded the dude in half and put him in a trash can. Like, what? What? No, when you see the actual costume, it doesn't have any, like, exoskeletons or anything like that in it. No, he's just a taxidermist. That's it. He's just a taxidermist. That's it. That's it. He's just a really tall motherfucking taxidermist. And he just tells him, can you stand up at your full height?
Yeah. God damn it! You got one! I'm at 244 Maple. I'm at 244 Maple. I got suspect on the move. Can I get backup ASAP?
Yeah. Radio doesn't work. It's so like, oh, let me show you the costume. Look at this costume. It's like they didn't want to commit to anything. See? It's just a costume. It makes me... This movie makes me so upset because they didn't want to commit. It's like they just didn't want to commit to it being a werewolf movie. It just had to be a crazy serial killer instead. Right? I'm gonna tell you how much I do not like this movie. So this moron just has superhuman strength summoned from his butthole. Yeah, unironically. Unironically. I like, no, this movie hurt me. This movie was so bad. And again, like I said, you saw the comedy in it. The comedy is miserable. Like, this is just miserable, lazy, angry people being lazily, miserably angry at each other. It's so fucking... And it's like, ha ha ha, don't you love the joke? It's like, it's not. Now, this is the comedy movie. I shit you fucking not. This is supposed to be a comedy movie. Like, this is a decent example of, like, the comedy. This is the comedy in this movie.
Sorry, everybody. Let me just make this perfectly clear. There is no such thing as werewolves. They're imaginary. Our killer is a guy, and I'm gonna find him, and I'm gonna kill... And we're gonna bring him to justice, legally and together.
She has paw prints in hair.
Yeah, sorry, Chavez. Please, enlighten us. Did you take forensic psychology at your college? Online?
Fuck you, asshole.
Oh, fuck you.
What?
Yeah.
Dumbass? Keep walking.
Yeah, all right, tough guy.
You want to go?
Yeah, oh, like you're always good.
John.
All right.
John McEnroe.
See, again, that's the comedy in this movie. That's the comedy all the time in this movie. That right there. It's just miserable, lazy people being lazily, miserably angry at each other. It's just... It's so bad. And they're, like, constantly, like, making him feel like shit and everything.
Alright! Hey, we're looking for somebody big. I want license plates on everybody that came out of that cafe. Do you have anything? Fingerprints?
Yeah.
Blood? Fucking anything?
Again, this.
A lot of blood. It's just me and Kevin down here.
Yeah.
I've never worked with a body like
Don't
this before.
email us saying you got nothing. What the fuck is county paying you for?
That's not my job.
That is your job.
That is your job. It's, again, this is the comedy. This is the comedy that they're going for, by the way. Contrast that with the movie Nobody, which is a dark comedy as well, and it's a fucking fun ride. Like, dude, I love... Hang on, no, I gotta show you the scene, like, that kind of sums up. You've seen the comedy now here in The Wolf of Snow Hollow, right? That's the comedy. It doesn't get any better. That is the comedy. Now, I'll show you what makes Nobody so funny. Not just, like, Christopher Lloyd, obviously, his little fucking devilish smirk there. But he just has a moment here. That's so good. Okay.
Doesn't close one door without opening another.
Without opening another.
Please, God, open that door.
He is so eager to commit violence. He is so... He wants to commit violence so badly. He's like, they say God doesn't close one door without opening another. And he's looking at these drunken assholes that just crash their car, like, full on into a concrete barrier. And he's like, oh my God, this would be the perfect excuse. These guys are drunk ne'er-do-wells. They are clearly, like, the subhuman criminal class, right? You can tell each one of these guys has a single brain cell between all of them, right? He is like, please, God, open that door. And when the door opens, he is just like, oh. Thank you, God. Thank you. I get to hurt people now. Because he is trying so hard to be a better person. Hey, Grinus. He is trying so hard to be a better person. And he is just like, he sees them and he's like, please.
Open that door.
Open that door. Please, God. Open that door.
Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong.
He's like... And what's funny about this is because he's constantly referred to as the wolf in sheep's clothing and everything. And He is the literal embodiment of the wolf in sheep's clothing. He is just like, he wants to be the wolf again so badly. He wants to hurt people so badly. It's just like, oh, I'm trying to be a good, normal citizen. Please give me the excuse. Please. And what I like about this movie so much is that he's not a superhuman. Right? He is a monster in his endurance and capabilities, but he's not like, what's the way to put it? He's not perfection where you can't see yourself in him at all. No, he's not CIA. His file is literally classified as nobody. His file is so blacked out. It makes the COVID fucking files look like they're more transparent. His file has so much blackout on it, and so many things. The fact that his name is damn near blacked out, but they at least let him keep his name, but his status and classification is literally labeled nobody. 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 He was an auditor. That was true. His job is literally auditor. It says job, auditor. He doesn't audit normal people. He audits the 3-letter agencies. And if you can imagine, I don't know. I haven't seen Nobody 2 yet. We're watching it tonight. I bought it. I'm going to watch it tonight. But he audits the 3-letter agencies. And if you can imagine, they are particularly not fond of being audited. So, of course, if he audits an agency and the agency can't really reveal any secrets, what do you think happens to the person who's being audited? They gotta go away and never show up ever again. And he's the person that makes sure they go away and never show up ever again. So he has been waiting for this. He is so like, oh, please. Please. I just let me have the thrill of the hunt again. It's like, oh my God. Such a good movie. Yeah, just let the wolf out of the sheep's clothing. And again, like I said, they make that reference so many times. But here's what I'm saying. Like, he's not superhuman, right? He's not perfect. He gets fucking walloped all the time. Again, see? Knife in his side. Again, he's not perfect. That. It's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. Oh. No, he's so good. It's so good. Such a good movie. Genuinely fantastic movie. Highly recommend it. Yeah, and I actually like it a lot. I like it more than John Wick, actually. And I know how that sounds, but John doesn't feel like he's trying to be, John doesn't feel like he was actually trying to live a normal life. You know what I mean? John always felt like he was the super dangerous one. In this, they make it clear he was trying. Henry was trying his damnedest to just live a normal life. And they even go through like a montage of his miserable experience. I love the start of the movie. When they're like, don't let me be misunderstood. Alright, I gotta obviously mute it. But no, he's here in an interrogation room. He pulls a little Siamese kitten out after he hopefully had a can of food for him. And they're just like, who the fuck are you? Me? I'm nobody. And then they go here into his, like, literal, the misery cycle that he's actually in. Monday, beep, boop. Tuesday, misses the garbage again. Wednesday, he missed the garbage. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Again, they just go through the misery cycle of his life. And how his life just, it just sucks. Right? But he's trying. Right? Oh yeah, we had a Siamese kitten too. But yeah. I believe more that he is actively making an effort to be a normal guy. Right? They set it up so well that he is actually genuinely trying just to be a normal guy. Whereas I don't get that feeling with John Wick, you know? I don't get that feeling. Like, there's nothing wrong with Keanu Reeves. But this sets up more the mundanity of, like, his life. He doesn't even have a good relationship with his wife. You can see the pillow wall that's set up between them. Like, he's just, like, in a misery spiral. To the point he's trying to buy a machine shop just so he has something that's his. Literally what he says. He's like, so why are you trying to buy this place? I just want something that's mine. Because I understand that. What mods do you recommend for New Vegas? I already installed the one that gives them better armor. Always bothered me. They wear football gear. Now I use realistic weapons damage. Realistic weapon damage mods. Which, again, makes it super dangerous for you and super dangerous for them. Headshots, very lethal, and that goes both ways. Yeah, and then later on, once you get to John Wick 2 and 3, he's a superhuman, right? There's no... You don't feel any stakes. And then in the third movie, when he dies, it's very... It just feels meh. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, it was in the movie where he dies. I can't even remember, because they all kind of blend together. The stair scene. Yep, that's the one I'm talking about. All the stuff blend together too much. But, okay, going from that, again, nobody fantastic. The Wolf of Snow Hollow, terrible. Now, let's get to a genuinely fantastic one. Okay, is there a trailer? Can I show the trailer? Okay. Chat. This was unironically... I watched the entire thing. I'm not going to say any spoilers about it, because I highly recommend it. This comes from a director who I've enjoyed. I don't think I've seen a bad movie from them. Right? This director is Guy Ritchie. And he had a new show out, and I didn't realize that besides The Gentleman and another show, Cree told me about it, there was another show, He was also doing a third show. This third show, which I was surprised to see.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I've always been more of a thinker than a fighter.
The two aren't mutually exclusive. There's an art to fighting.
There's an art to war.
That's right. This is Sherlock Holmes in his youth. An actual Sherlock Holmes movie. And this is his youth, before he meets Watson, before Mycroft is set up and everything like that. This is like laying the groundwork for everything.
Larceny. Thieving. Those days aren't really behind me. I'm in Oxford now.
So what he would do, like, the reason he starts off in prison. Again, I'm not going to go into too many details. But it's setting up his character. He got put into prison because he was pickpocketing everyone. But he would pickpocket it and then return it immediately. Right? And he wouldn't even take anything out of it. And the judge was like, why? Why would you pickpocket people and then return it immediately and not take anything out of it? He's like, well, because the thrill was pickpocketing. The thrill was the act itself. I didn't need anything from them. I just wanted to do it to say I could do it. Nope, not a movie. It's a full series. It is not a movie. It is actually a full-on series. And it was a very, very good series. I actually liked the way that things were set up. I liked the way that it shows him starting to put together his capabilities. Like, he's always been observant and very imaginative and everything like that, but it's putting together the pieces of how he starts forming it. And I also like what they do with his arch nemesis. I really, really do.
You have to promise me something.
Anything, Mother.
Stay out of trouble.
Sherlock Holmes.
James Moriarty.
Sherlock is making friends.
Sherlock never made any friends. What game are we playing today?
What game would you like to play? Don't!
Mycroft, what the bloody hell is going on? Do you mind telling me why your brother is standing at the scene of the crime?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I'm curious as to why I'm being set up for murder. But I need proof. There are other forces at work. Sorry to bother you, sir.
What is it?
A bomb.
What do you mean a bomb?
A bomb is an incendiary device.
I know what a bloody bomb is.
Why would anybody want to do this?
You're a smart boy. Work it out. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, that must be the truth.
I do love a secret passage.
We're going to solve this together. Holmes, let me illuminate you. You've no idea what's at stake here.
No, it can't be because as you can see, Sherlock and Moriarty are together here in this, right? Yeah. Like this they can't be like in sync with each other, if that makes sense, right? But I actually like what they do with Moriarty here. Because again, you as the audience know, wait a minute, Moriarty is going to be his arch nemesis, right? And he is. But I love the way, like, this is when they're young, right? This is before the master criminal and the master detective. Like, this is them, like, they bump into each other, and because they're similar, they both are very imaginative, both very, very observant and everything like that. They kind of hit it off with each other. But Moriarty can fight. Sherlock can't yet. Sherlock has to learn how to fight. Yeah, so this comes before, and they're actually setting up the rivalry and how there's the distrust slowly building between them.
I feel as though I should thank you for saving me from a life of sheer boredom.
You are most welcome.
I watched it again. I'm not gonna reveal anything about it. It was very good, genuinely very good. Like, yeah. My favorite thing after reading the books is that Holmes isn't a magic super genius. He's practicing modern forensics before the police, and he's obsessed with crime. Mm-hmm. This is setting up why he becomes obsessive with it, right? Yep. There's a great scene where Watson is shocked to learn Holmes doesn't know the Earth revolves around the sun. He calls it neat trivia, but it doesn't help with crime. Yeah. Yep, again, I highly recommend it. It's actually a genuinely, like, really, really well done show. Like, I actually like the way it's all filmed and everything. I like the way they do stuff. I like his, like, take on things. And of course, setting up the relationship beforehand, right? I look forward to more seasons, because this is a really good foundation. This is genuinely a really good foundation. Even Richie's worst films are stylish as hell, and Holmes needs a win after all the little sister girl boss shit recently. Poor Henry Cavill, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Ooh. No, it was actually genuinely really fucking good. I was impressed, thoroughly impressed. Like, it was just a good series. Yeah, so, you had The Gentleman, both the movie and the series, fantastic. You had Young Sherlock Holmes, fantastic. I actually like both of the Johnny Depp Sherlock movies, genuinely very good, and they were both from Guy Ritchie as well. You had Mobland. Mobland was the one that Cree said that Guy Ritchie did as well. And I'm like, ooh, I need to watch Mobland. I need to see what Mobland is. And if it's good, you know, I want to know if it's good. Right. A little thing for my D&D session that I just made, this stupid goblin character that I wanted to kill him during the final act. Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. I liked the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock movies. They were actually really good. Players liked the character that much, so I gave them the choice. To resurrect him, and they did. Well, there you go. You'll have that sometimes where you, like, they'll just be the players will just for whatever reason hit it off with someone really well, right? Oh yeah, Tulsa King. I need to watch season 3, but season 1 and 2 of Tulsa King were really good. Season 2 drags a little bit, but that's a good mafia movie. That came from the creators of Sopranos, as a new kind of mafia movie from the Sopranos. Not set in the same universe as far as I know. But yeah, I actually quite like it. It's Sylvester Stallone as the mafia boss this time. And I quite enjoyed it. I did. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah. God, though, that just, that just reminds me too much, Rob Parr, of the god-awful BBC Sherlock. BBC Sherlock is just so fucking bad. Like, at first you kind of think it's gonna be okay. You kind of overlook well, they're not really giving you all the information. He seems kind of super powered, like it's some fucking superhero show. And then they just drop that pretext, and yeah, no, it's a total like superhero power fantasy show. He just magically knows things that you can't logically, like, you deduce that all from one look? Very impressive. And it's like, fuck off. That's what happens when you have writers that are stupid trying to write a smart character. Because smart people, to a stupid person, a smart person looks magical, right? That's what I hate so much. That's why I enjoy so much when you have a smart writer that writes things in a way that you can figure stuff out, too. You have all the puzzle pieces. You could see all the clues that the character saw. Nothing was obfuscated. Nothing was hidden off screen. Oh, ain't that the truth of it? 100% Hoodie Man, 100%. BBC makes nothing but garbage these days. But yeah, you have to be very careful in writing people, right? When it comes to just writing in general, it's going to sound very self-aggrandizing. But the truth of the matter is, if you're not a smart person and you try to write a smart person, it will fall flat because a stupid person can't understand the pieces, right? They can't understand how the smart person can come to the conclusion they come to, so it seems like magic to them, even though there's a logical series of events and steps you can go through. And you see it all the time in all these shows where, hey, this character, the bad guy, is a super genius sort of thing. It's like, oh no. Because if the writer isn't smart, this is going to be painful. The fun thing with Irene Adler, she did beat Holmes in that she remembered he's a master of disguise and ran away when she let him into her home. Not genius, just memory. Yeah. So a lot of times you'll see it in a lot of like writing and stuff like that, and movies and shows, where characters will just intuit things that it's like, how did you possibly come to that conclusion with the information you had, right? It's like, you had X, Y, and Z. How did you get H? Where did that come from? How do you know that? Like, oh, well, the character's really smart. No, that doesn't work. You need to explain how they knew that, right? Or at least lay out the breadcrumbs. Again, like I said, it sounds very self-aggrandizing. And I apologize, but it's the whole thing here. Even if we just look at piercing the veil. You know, we had just gone through it. The whole thing of... right here. Pretty charitable stuff. And it isn't like the NDA can keep track well either, because of the demand to obfuscate everything. However, this corruption coming so easy would logically mean... Dale waved his hand lightly to see if Kenneth picked up on what he was trying to say. If corruption is that common, then how bad can the corruption be? And what does the leader of Grey Wolf know that makes him so determined to destroy the NDA? Exactly. I like you a lot, Ken. It's like that, right? Like, again, he laid down the groundwork. He's like, hey, listen, corruption is so common that even my commander was embezzling funds and was misappropriating funds, right? But he was doing it for a good cause. But if it's common enough that that's happening, and Grey Wolf is clearly wanting to destroy the NDA, what would that say to you? Corruption is this common. If corruption is this common, then really bad corruption is likely not uncommon. The dark shit, right? And he does explain the dark shit later, like the human experimentation, the torture chambers, things like that. Like, that stuff is like, okay, yeah, that kind of like, talking about shattering your entire, like, delusions about what an agency actually means and stands for when you uncover that. And he said, and that was the stuff they showed us. And then they said there's worse stuff that they didn't show us. So, if you're showing us the human experiments, the torture chambers, and shit like that, and there's worse that you're not showing us, you're just telling us there's worse. That's one of those things like, oh, well, look at all this, like, graft and bribery and stuff like that. And there's way worse, but we won't show you the way worse because it's dark. I don't believe you as much. There's not as much weight leaning into that being way worse. If you're actually already showing us, yeah, they're torturing people, they're experimenting on people, it's really fucking bad. But it also gets worse. I can more believe you because you're showing me something that's already completely abhorrent. Right? I believe that, oh God, this is the stuff you're willing to show me, and you say there's worse stuff, and this stuff here is already damning. That's not good. Yeah, so, again, like I said, it seems like I'm tooting my own horn and stuff like that, and I guess in the truth of it is I am a little bit, because I like to think I'm smart, but, you know, the point being is, like, you have to be very careful, be knowledgeable about your level of intelligence on things. If you write a super smart character, like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a genuinely incredibly intelligent man. If you look at his stuff outside of his work with Sherlock Holmes and everything, right? Holmes is by far his most famous character. But if you look outside of his work with that, the dissertations he gives and everything like that, and his explanations for how things work, you can tell, like, he was a very, very smart man without all that, right? And a lot of it he credits to a, I can't remember if he said it was a professor, but he explained, he's like, the professor inspired him to make Sherlock Holmes. The professor inspired the character. And he was explaining like how he could deduce like what was wrong with a patient and what their life was like based off of the way they were, the way they walked, they carried themselves, what they were doing. Did they like stumble a little bit as they walked and things like that? Were they a drunkard perhaps, or did they have an injury? Well, if we look at the man's dress, he's very well kempt and everything like that. So more likely leaning towards military, not drunkard. Drunkards aren't known for being well kept and maintained. So, and he would explain through like situations like this of how they were able to diagnose patients without having actual like forensic stuff. Now, obviously, some of it was wrong, which was like gait, right? For anyone that doesn't know gait, G-A-I-T is your stride, your length of stride. For a long time, people thought long stride or a long gait meant you were very tall. That's not actually true. People are totally all over the place with height versus gait and everything like that. There are just some people that are really tall and lanky, and they have very short, shallow gait. They don't have very big feet. They got small feet, and they don't extend their legs out very far because they don't feel like balanced enough to do so. But for a long time, the traditional wisdom was if it's a big foot and a long stride, you're looking for a very, very tall person. It's like, that's not always true. There are just some people that naturally, like, they're in a hurry. They want to get up and go. They take long strides, and they're pretty lanky. They're pretty, like, stocky instead. Star Wars' Thrawn. Once a man who studied art to get in his enemy's mindset. Now a dude who throws away soldiers. I meant for you to kill that platoon. Yeah. Holmes' true strength is observation. The police see muddy footprints. They look outside at the garden. Holmes studies it, tastes it, looks at the garden, and studies mud around the city. Yep. Not our suspect, just a jogger. Yeah. But it's that whole thing, right? Like you could tell that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was genuinely a very, very intelligent person. That's how he was able to write a master detective and it not come off as like, I intuited these things. That's why look at BBC Sherlock, where all of his deductions are not deductive reasoning, first off, but secondly, they're impossible. Right? They're impossible deductions. Shit like when he deduces that they're with Her Majesty's Secret Service. And because the number of dog hairs that are on it. It's like, okay, you can't just assume that all those dog hairs come from where they're employed at. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, sure, you can maybe say, well, that's slightly different color of hair, but remember, there are dogs that have dual coats, and dual coats have different color textures to them, have different color patterns to them, not textures. You can't just assume that the person they're working for is the one that has the pets. What if they were out on the street and a dog walked by them and, like, brushed against them? People walk their dogs in London. Like, that's not an unreasonable thing to happen. The problem with BBC Sherlock is he jumps to extreme nonsense things. Stuff like he only buttered the bread with this side of the knife, therefore he's left-handed. And it's very awkward to use your left hand to aim at the right side of your head. Ignore the fact that in the first episode we see Dr. Watson, wanting to protect his right hand, fires with his left hand instead so that he doesn't risk damage to his right hand. He is a right-handed person. The first episode contradicts you, Sherlock, and also, who in the hell butters their toast? I have not met a single human being who does not do the tried and true method of buttering toast. You take a slice of butter, you put it on one side, and then you immediately flip the blade over and go right back across it with the other side. Who in the hell only butters one side, lifts up all the way to the other side of the toast, one side, all the way lifted up over one side? Who in the fuck does that? What robot machine are you? Who in the hell doesn't just turn the knife and go back the other way with it to keep spreading the butter? I haven't met a single person in my life that has ever not done that. Oh my god. It's so wild how bad BBC Sherlock actually is. And just no deductive reasoning whatsoever, just pulling shit right out of his ass. You got all that from one look? Definitely the new sexy. Oh, God. And see, again, this is what happens when you have an idiot writing a smart person. Because intelligence doesn't become like a normal thing that you can logic through and reason with. Intelligence becomes a magical superpower. And then you have to assume that they either only drag the knife toward them rather than away from them. Yeah, exactly. And this is the acclaimed Benedict Cumberbatch one, right? Skating by on his own, on his charisma and skill. Yeah, basically. And he acts like a child in so many things. Like, they set up this whole thing in the later season. Like, the later seasons make it more blatantly obvious that the writers are idiots and they don't know what intelligence actually is. Because they set up this whole thing like Sherlock's sister can program people by talking to them and moving her head in specific patterns. And that programs people's brains and shit. And she and James Moriarty concocted an entire scheme that would take years in 5 minutes that they were together. In 5 minutes, they concocted an entire, decade-long plan to fuck with Sherlock, knowing that James Moriarty would be dead at the time. It's so fucking stupid. It's so... dude. Like I said, that's when the stupid normies were like, okay, this is pretty bad, right? Yes, dude, Game of Shadows Moriarty was fantastic. Because Game of Shadows Moriarty was intelligent, but not perfect, right? He didn't have superhuman capabilities. He was just absurdly intelligent man. And it was because of his flaws that he got caught. And one of my favorite flaws is the fact that he is very violently angry, right? He is a very violently angry man. Like, he's not just a brain or anything like that. He is brawn as well. Like, his level of pure anger and ruthlessness is crazy. Also, he saved everything in his diary, one diary, which would have been okay because it was so heavily encoded. The problem was that Sherlock was able to deduce what the cipher was. And he was able to deduce the cipher because he remembers what was in James Moriarty's study. Moriarty, had a famous book on horticulture and how to take care of plants, and then right beside it was a plant that was neglected and dead. Almost in pure irony, the plant was next to the book that was needed to save its life. And it had been neglected and left to die and rot. which is what made Sherlock suspicious about that book. Like, let's see if I can have the thing where he looks directly at it. Yeah. Here we go. And this is them playing a game of chess, but they're not playing a game of chess.
Queen takes knight pawn. Does the art of domestic horticulture mean anything to you? How could a man as meticulous as you own such a book, yet completely neglect the flowers in his own window box? Irony abounds.
And again, this is what he immediately clocks on. Like, that's the beauty of when characters are actually intelligent, right? When characters are actually genuinely intelligent. The moment that Sherlock named the book, Moriarty knew he was fucked. Moriarty knew he was caught. And again, it was because of his flaws. He didn't care about the plants. He didn't take care of it. Moriarty presents himself as completely meticulous, perfect, put together in all ways. And he is incredibly intelligent. But Sherlock clocked on the fact, like, why do you have this book, but you don't take care of anything? And remember, early in the film, they show Sherlock actually, like, turns the book and looks at the title. See?
What
See?
considerations will you grant?
The art of domestic horticulture. So again, you're not obfuscated. They didn't just pull this out of nowhere. You see Sherlock taking note of it. He's like, that's interesting. He has this book. He's incredibly well put together. He's meticulous in all things. And then right next to it, like off to the side, dead flowers. That he hasn't taken care of them at all. Yep, and the book is well used. Correct. And again, they're not playing chess. This is when they talk about how violent, how, like, he is, like, pure rage and hatred. Moriarty in this is Sherlock's opposite. Moriarty is a very violent, bloodthirsty, and ruthless man. And again, his downfall in this movie is the fact that he expects everybody to be just like him. And that's when they show this.
No. I shall endeavor to find the most creative of endings for the Doctor and his wife.
Okay, again, ruthless already. He's like, you may have gotten my stuff now and started to crumble my empire. I'm going to make it hurt. I am going to make you suffer, Sherlock, knowing that you have now damned Watson and his wife. And again, this plays out in a really cool way.
My injury.
Yep.
My advantage. His rage.
So again,
Incoming assault. Feral, but experienced. Use his momentum to counter.
what I like about this fight is that, again, Moriarty's doing the same thing the other way, right?
Come now. You really think you're the only one who can play this game? Trap arm, target weakness. Follow with haymaker.
Ah, there we find the boxing champion of Cambridge.
Competent, but predictable. Now, allow me to reply.
Yep.
Arsenal running dry. Adjust strategy.
And again, what I like about this is that they're setting up that both of them are, this is how they both see it going. It's not just Moriarty like putting in, this is how I win. It's also Sherlock being, this is how I lose.
Wound taking its toll. As I feared, injury makes defense untenable.
Yep.
Prognosis increasingly negative.
Let's not waste any more of one another's time.
So what's so amazing about this fight, what I like so much about this fight, is because it blows up in Moriarty's face. This is what happens when characters are genuinely both incredibly intelligent, but they have flaws. And Moriarty's flaw is that he believes everyone is just as self-serving and ruthless as he is. So he has no concept of someone taking the heroic sacrifice.
We both know how this ends.
Right? Again, remember, and it's shown, it is not just Moriarty who's thinking this way. This is what Sherlock is thinking as well. So when the fight actually starts...
Conclusion inevitable. Unless...
So again, Moriarty was going to play out the fight, but he has no concept of a heroic sacrifice. He has no concept of being selfless. And that's why he loses. Because everyone isn't like Moriarty. Everyone isn't as ruthless and self-interested. Oh, man. Of course. I'll counter it when it happens. At least Rumble will have the uninterrupted stream. I will counter it. Yeah. I'll counter it when it goes. But yeah. Man, YouTube is such a fucking cancer on everything. Oh yeah, no. YouTube will always show like genuinely objectionable shit and just be like the advertisers. That's the biggest load of crock you'll ever get from YouTube, right? Yeah. That's the biggest load of crock you'll ever get from YouTube, as the whole like, well, we do these things because it's not advertiser friendly, and then it's like, your advertisers. Have you seen your advertisers? Fuck off. Like, kindly go away forever. After telling us to watch another Amazon show, no less. Yeah. Again, it's their automated systems. It's just pure cancer, right? It's just what it is. It's simply just pure cancer. I know we're back. But again, like I said, Rumble will have the full uninterrupted stream, obviously. So, we'll highly recommend that for the discussion. And I said, I'll do the counter claim for it because we were genuinely having a discussion and pausing it and going through in detail and stuff. So, fuck YouTube, as per usual. Game of Shadows is pretty good. It's really fucking great, right? It is really good. You know, there was actually like another streaming platform I was debating on actually streaming to, which is Pomp, which is where what's her name? We've done streams with her in the past. The Elf Pyre, the not Eva the Elf Pyre, right? She streams on Pomp because she doesn't have to worry about copyright or anything like that, right? Like, you can do full movies there. Pomp does not give a shit. Unfortunately, because Pomp doesn't give a shit, because they are total. Their whole brand is like streaming with almost no limits, because if there's actual like criminal activity, obviously they got to go through that. But that's the problem, because theirs is streaming with no limits. You share the platform with some wild degeneracy. So, yeah. It's the only reason I don't stream to Pomp. Like, at all. I like their platform. I like the idea of that, but because they're so open as a free speech platform and everything like that, there's crazy levels of degeneracy on it. Like, it's a cesspit. It is literally it is literally, if you wanted a moral crusade, like, you would show Pomp. Yep. Like, oh my god. I said I really wanted to set up a chance that is pretty much the scene from Game of Shadows, the military compound with the little Hansel. Yeah, that'd be fun. Thoughts on LA Noire? I don't like LA Noire. And part of it is because Yahtzee Croshaw, Zero Punctuation, again, say what you will about him, he gets a lot of things wrong because he's trying to pump out a weekly show, right? But he's right in one regard, which is you're an actor, so you're lying, so you're not actually, this isn't actually a truthful thing, who now has to pretend that they're lying, right? And the people they got oversell it all the time, right? The other thing I don't like about LA Noire is that the clues and everything are so hyper-specific, you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very careful in what you select as your choice. Because even though, like, oh yeah, well, I bet you there's nothing that shows that I'm wrong. If there are 3 pieces of evidence that show that they're wrong, you cannot pick any of the 3. You have to pick the specific one. Which is very frustrating. Because, like, I can show you're wrong with this right here. What do you mean? Like, this wasn't a good setup for thing. And that kind of stuff like that frustrates me. Because, like, you need to think only on the most base of logic. If you go to the next step of logic, it gets so much worse. And a lot of the things, like, I bet you don't have evidence that proves I'm lying right now. And then you can, like, bring up your little book and pick an evidence thing. You have problems where you get a lot of it, like, there's only one correct answer for each of these little gates where they say, I'm lying about this. And that's very frustrating. Because you'll have moments where you'll have multiple bits of evidence that prove they're lying, but you need to pick the exact specific one for this particular gate. And that's the stuff that annoys me in LA Noire. Oh, and that's the other one too. Like, even if it only kind of proves it wrong, but it's not there, sometimes you have to doubt. And I don't like that. Don't like that at all. I really don't. Not a fan of that system. Not a fan of that kind of, like, style either. They've got the remaster of The Sinking City out. I wonder if I have it. I wonder if it, like, did I automatically get upgraded to the remaster? I'd have to check off of... I think I have it on GOG. Yeah. I'll check on that. Should have, yes. Okay, cool. I like Sinking City. I see, that's the kind of logic stuff I like, because you're allowed to make the wrong choices. And you're punished for it later, right? But you are totally allowed to make the wrong connections. And I like that system a lot. It's the same system that Frogwares used in Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. You are allowed to make wrong inferences, and you're not told immediately that wrong, bad, blah, blah. You have to realize that you made the wrong inference. It's on you to realize that you fucked up. When you start getting more evidence together, like, that's the thing, is like, you can make these inferences, and then it's like, okay, let's gather more evidence. Okay, now that contradicts this. Because it's contradictory, it must therefore not be true. That's what I like about it so much. I watched a video about how Call of Duty multiplayer helped train people for ICE. What? What? What is that, a fucking MatPat game theory? Is MatPat back? Is he spouting more fucking nonsense and half, like, uneducated drivel? Holy shit. That was always the thing where people are like, MatPat got a lot of undeserved flack. I'm like, no. He got a shit ton of deserved flack. He literally brought it on himself. Because MatPat is an idiot, right? MatPat is in fitting in the conversation we're talking about right now. MatPat is a moron that thinks he's smart. Which is why he concocts these wild and kooky and crazy theories that are, like, not remotely connected in the realm of, like, possibility. Or he'll take other people's theories that they already had and use it himself. And, like, the dude can't even do math, for God's sakes. Okay? He is one of the original, like, he is the original, like, what's the word for it? Popularizer. He's the original popularizer for sophistry, right? Or sophistry, whichever way you want to say it. For anyone that doesn't know, it's the mental trap, it's the fallacy that people fall into that because something is complicated, therefore it's better, right? Now, there's the opposite. Because something is simple does not mean it's better either. You got to be careful of both. The keep it simple stupid is not a hard rule you must adhere to. Okay? It is a guideline. Guideline. I hate the keep it simple stupid is like, no, you should always keep it simple stupid. It's like, that's very poor form. Yeah, like I said, there's a ton of people that do it. H-Bomber Guy is one of the people. But sophistry is an easy trap because, like, oh, it's so complicated and interwoven and everything like that. Therefore, it's better. It's like, no, that's not true. I like I said, I also hate the other extreme of keep it simple stupid is the only way to go. No, that's wrong. Like, keep it simple stupid will help you ensure that you don't have plot holes and things like that, right? Like, keep it simple stupid can make things easier on you to make sure you can have a good narrative with no plot holes and very consistent and everything. But keep it simple stupid is the basic version. What's more impressive is when you do have complexities and don't have any plot holes and you have all the narrative consistencies and everything. Keep it simple stupid should not be your running theme for everything. A mill, and you still fuck it up somehow. Like, People want full depth and complexity in their stories. They actually want it. But you have to be a competent writer, and you have to be an intelligent person to do it, which is why a mill will never write a good story. Because he's not competent and he's not intelligent. Like I said, competency with a mill is proven through his track record. Intelligence is proven through his statements. And my God, that conference he gave on writing in video games is a gold mine for proving that Emil Pagliarillo is a very, very stupid person. Like, unironically, an incredibly stupid person. Like, why would you watch the movie The Revenant where he fights a bear when you can fight the bear yourself? It's exactly the same. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh yeah, in Skyrim where it feels like you're hitting everything with a pool noodle. Yeah, where nothing reacts to it. It's all super fucking lame. Yeah, exactly the same as in The Revenant. Why read about or watch The Red Wedding when you can commit the Red Wedding? Because you kill one bride? And that's it? Because they're both weddings does not mean they are the same, you moron. Oh my God. Rags compared it to the high dive in the Olympics. More complex dives give more points, but only if you land it. Exactly. Exactly. You should try to go for the complexity. But again, you have to be a competent, intelligent person to pull it off. Just ugh. Most that's just okay, because if a conference was only about Bethesda. Oh my God. My cyberpunk story just slammed into a logical brick wall. She can't get inside the school after hours. I'm setting off payoffs and rules and completely blundered into them face first. That happens. It happens sometimes. You have those moments you just have to ask yourself, like, okay, it can't work. So find a way to make it work. And I don't mean just pull something out of your ass. Have the character discuss that, okay, I physically can't do this. I need to come up with some way to be able to overcome this hurdle, this obstacle. Is there somebody she can contact? Is there somebody else she can get in touch with? Is there some other methodology she can use instead of physically going there? Like, make it her realizing that she cannot physically pull this off. With her skill set or whatever's happening, for whatever reason, she cannot get into the school. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. But what matters is that she cannot do it. Now have her come up with, like, okay, so if I can't do it, can I find somebody who could do it for me? Are they trustworthy? Are they not trustworthy? Are they an old friend I haven't met for a long time? Do I need to do something for them first? Like, there are ways to go about these things without it becoming an ass pull, right? Where it just doesn't make sense. Like, well, how'd you do that? Well, just ignore it. It doesn't matter. It's part of the story. Yeah, the whole keep it simple stupid for everything, as Anti-Boy Scout said, is use bolt-action rifles instead of assault rifles. Yeah. Yeah. Can she pay off some of the staff? Can she bribe somebody? Can she blackmail somebody? Like, what purpose does she need to be there for, and what lengths is she willing to go to achieve that goal? Uh, I hate how many cool IPs Microsoft is just happy to sit like Blinks, Brute Force, Raise Hell, and Mechasalt. Yeah, I mean it happens for everything, right? Because why would you ever want to get rid of that IP? Because you could bring in royalties and things like that. It's the IP system's fucked. And so it needs looked at. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, I just saw something adorable. Yeah, but that's only after a long period of time. And then they'll do little sneaky things where they'll be like, oh, well, we started a project and then it fell through, sort of thing. Like, so we're actively using it. There are so many loopholes for IP law, it hurts. Anyways, this got posted in Rags' Discord. And even better, because somebody else in the Discord also realized what kobold this actually was, and they posted the follow-up. It's perfect. It's perfect. Oh my god. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. Oh. Anyways. Okay, I'm a little hungry, chat. I'm gonna go make myself some food real quick. Some FUD. I'll be back. I'm gonna get some FUD. And we'll keep having our discussiones. BRB. Ow! Oh, right, as I sat back down, I sneezed. Ow! Fuck! Uh... Okay. Man, I see the Van Helsing movie sitting there, like, taunting me. Because it's such a good fucking movie. This Van Helsing movie is such a good fucking movie. Also, it's cheating to put, like, movies you have on your watch list and that you recommended. Like, we think you'll like these movies. Like, you know I've watched it multiple times and recommended it. Of course I like this movie. What the that's cheating. That's cheating. You bastard bitches. Oh no, he cheated. Oh no, he cheated. I wonder if there's any other good werewolf movies out there. So we've seen a bunch of them. We've seen a shit ton of werewolf movies. Oh, actually, speaking of, I am very glad that you guys who hadn't seen it before watched The Bad Guys and enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Like, there are some logical inconsistencies in the movie, that's for sure. One is, like, did they go take the suits from Crimson Paw's house as well? Like, why are they in the same suits that they are in? Like, how do they know where she lives? Like, or how to get down into her secret lair? But, you know, those are the stuff where it's like, did the suit help them in any way or do anything? Those are the nitpicks, right? Like, we talk about nitpicks versus plot holes and things like that. And people had this weird assumption that nitpicks are just like, oh, I could overcome it, therefore it's not a problem. It's like, no, that's not what a nitpick is. Nitpick doesn't have an actual, like, bearing relevance on the story. Them being in the same super suits literally did nothing. Like, the super suits were meaningless. They didn't change anything about it. There was no reason for them to be in it. It didn't even do anything for Foxington or the Wolf. Therefore, it's a nitpick. I know I eat Nutty Buddies like a monster. I eat them like a fucking weirdo, where I have to peel them up layer by layer. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Rapar. There are so few good Hollywood writers, it's crazy. The overwhelming majority of Hollywood writers aren't worth, like, a penny. They need to be fired. But it's such an insular and corrupt, like, system that you're never going to get rid of these people, unfortunately. Hollywood just has to burn down. Which, thankfully, stuff like Markiplier's Iron Lung is proving. Yep. Ah. I will continue to eat my Nutty Buddy like an insane person. Consume nut. Nut. Did you? Oh my god. Have you seen that the memes from the White House have been fucking hilarious? And the Department of War? The fucking lizard meme. I can't believe they actually did the lizard meme. Lizard. And then they show another bombing, like obliterating in Iran. Lizard. And then another target in Iran. Lizard. Another target in Iran. Lizard. Another target in Iran. And then when it starts just going, lizard, lizard, lizard. I'm like, man, whoever is running the meme machine at the Department of War, they need a fucking raise. Holy shit. They need an actual raise. Holy shit. Oh my god, speaking of, the number of people that, like, can't tell. Like, I get when AI is really subtle. I understand. And then you can be tricked by it. But the numbers of people like, this is clearly what's happening. Like, oh, they're so silly. Iran hasn't lost anything. They haven't hit a single building in Iran or destroyed a single aircraft. Like, those were all painted on tarmacs. Ha ha ha. It's like, people using Gemini AI with their watermark. I know. The watermark is literally there and people still think it's real. And it's just like, I genuinely believe that people don't know that the grayscale image is not done for dramatic effect or as a sensor. That's thermal imaging, you morons. Paint doesn't have heat signatures. Oh my god. I just fucking can't. It's so... it's a wild ride. Again, I own all these movies, and I've recommended these movies. You can't say movies we think you'll like from this stuff like that. You're cheating, Amazon Prime. You're cheating. Stop cheating. Dude, it has been wild. And speaking of wild, the fact that, like, you know, I didn't expect it in my lifetime, but we've gotten in my lifetime. We have actual laser weaponry now. Like, no joke, actual laser weapons. One of them was shown on one of our destroyers, and it's called the Helios. What a fantastic name. I appreciate you calling it the Helios. I really do. But it's an actual, like, laser beam that they're using, and they haven't released the numbers yet because obviously, you know, obviously things are happening right now, and they don't want to release the hard numbers. But before this all happened in February, before this conflict happened, they already showed demonstration footage, and they've released that footage, of the Helios shooting down 5 drones. Which, again, people were laughing about how, like, aha, the United States needs to take, a few $1 million to shoot down a $30,000 drone. Oh, the economics look so poor. It's like, first off, millions of dollars is a drop in the bucket for the United States of fucking America. You need to understand, we had the choice between the greatest and strongest military the planet has ever seen, or being debt-free. And we chose the former. We do not give a fuck about the price tag when it comes to military expenditures. In fact, there was a whole post by the, I want to say the New York Post, maybe, that did it. One of the leftist journals put up a thing of, like, how much the war cost us. And everybody was like, they had the exact opposite of it. It was like, damn, it only cost a couple $1 billion to overthrow an entire country? Holy shit. That's cheap. But now, again, if the laser system's working, and it showed it worked before the conflict, the laser system now completely throws that on its head. A $30,000 drone getting taken out by a beam of light that cost us maybe 25 cents. Like, in the whole grand scheme of the power system required and everything like that, maybe 25 cents to fire it. I'm sorry, and remember, the United States don't give a shit with money. Iran is in a desperate situation. $30,000 is a lot of money to them. Will the primal culture ever get fixed? I know you said they revamped it. Did they ever fix the primal culture? Because it's so scuffed on so many levels. Oh, yeah. We have a suicide drone. We have a suicide drone, and it's been used in Iran already. We've seen it in function. There was a bunch of the Iranian police got together, and they were going to go attack some of the people celebrating. And the camera that survived was in a Jeep or something. Was in like a truck. So you can see it on the dash and everything like that, and you see a bunch of like police on motorcycles and things like that. They're preparing and everything, and you just see it on the top corner. You see, and a lot of nothing after that. A lot of screaming and nothing. And that was one of our new suicide drones that we have. Primal, I don't think, has been revamped. They've made changes to Feudal, Dark, and Mystic that I recall. Okay. Yeah, Primal is in a horrible state. It's in a horrible, horrible state. Oh, yeah. Trump already said Cuba best be prepared. Like, see, I like this aspect far more of when you just don't give a shit. It's like, don't listen to the Karens and the whiners and everything like that. Just get stuff done. Just do the work. Get it done. What the fuck? Okay. Jacksepticeye is on Amazon Prime. I'm like, what? Anyway, but speaking of, Markiplier with Iron Lung. When is Iron Lung coming? When can Iron Lung be purchasable? When will Iron Lung be purchasable? I want to purchase it. I want to throw my money at Markiplier. Because he made Hollywood look so fucking bad. He made Hollywood look so bad that they actually took Iron Lung off of the box office to make it look more like Hollywood was doing okay instead of getting BTFO'd. No, I don't know when it's in theaters. When's it going to be on DVD? DVD. Oh, DD. I meant DVD, not DD. Has confirmed a physical DVD, Blu-ray, and digital release is in development. Thank God. No data set yet. Yeah, I did DD. I missed the V. So it was just Iron Lung movie DD release date. Like, shit. Shit, I fucked up. I fucked up. Go back. Editor, remove the mistake. The King DDD protects. King DDD. I can only think of... I know King DDD has been in a lot of Kirby stuff, but I can only think of Kirby's Avalanche. You need to understand, that game was played so much in my childhood. My grandmother and my mother played that game all the time. And it'd just be funny because you'd hear them like battling each other, and you just hear Grandma be like, "Okay, stop." It's like, no. Oh my God. I remember they were playing it the one time when I fell down the one staircase. Oh my. So, we had a basement, right? And the stairs going down to the basement were roughed in quickly. So they were steep. If they were moved a little bit steeper, you would call it a ladder. That's how steep this thing was. And I went right down it. And I was going to slam headfirst into the door, and I threw my arms out to either side and pushed them into the wall as hard as I could, and that was some lovely pain. But it kept me from cracking headfirst in the door and who knows what. Yeah, that was, oh my God. Stairs are fucking dangerous. So I always learned to lean back on those stairs. Lean back. Because they dangerous. They very dangerous. Very, very dangerous stairs. All right. Werewolf movies. Blood of the Werewolf's Claw. 2024. That's not a good sign when they can't even get half on the ratings. Oh boy. Little Red Werewolf. Werewolf Santa. A Werewolf in England. It's legally distinct. A Werewolf in England. It's very legally distinct sounding. Werewolf Cabal. Ooh. Interesting title, that. Yeah. Werewolf Santa. Sounds funny. My Mom's a Werewolf. That sounds funny. From 1989. Werewolf Castle. Oh yeah, here right next to it, almost right underneath it, an American Werewolf in London versus a werewolf in England. Water Explorer, Wolfman. I didn't like Wolfman. Being Human, I've heard decent things about Being Human. I might watch it just to see. American Werewolf in Paris. A movie just called Werewolf. Discovering a deadly creature that becomes invisible in moonlight. Dude. Conspiracy theorists must evade both the beast. Invisible in moonlight, you say? That gives me an idea. No, that wouldn't work. Because the only one that would be directly associated with moonlight would be the Wrecker, and the Wrecker wouldn't become invisible. Like, the whole point behind the Speya being able to slip into shadows and move inside of shadows is because they're from the new moon, when the moon is its darkest. So the night is literally as dark as night can possibly be. They are then hunted both by the creature and by the military, who will stop at nothing to keep their creature a secret. And it looks like it's set in the UK based off the uniforms and everything I'm seeing. Project Silverwolf? Is that what you called it? Hold on. Hold on. Watch the trailer. I'm going to go get my snacks. I'm going to go get my food out of the air fryer. And then we're going to watch this trailer. Be right back a momento. Oi, Governor, you got a license for that werewolf? I don't think you do. Alright. Let's see this trailer. Let's see it. Other Dimension Films. Never heard of you. Groom Lake. That's a very unfortunate name.
I'm worried that we'll get caught. We'll go to prison if they catch us, you know, and...
It's in Britain! I was right. You got a license for that werewolf.
This place isn't like all the other places we've been to. There's something wrong with this place.
Your government lies to you. I mean... They guard many secrets. Oh. I did not know that. A group of friends went searching for the truth. Oh, it's Silverhide. Damn it, it went by so fast. I thought it said Silverwolf. Project Silverhide. Access only. Lot TV 45008. What is it with 45008 that gets used in everything?
Something way, way above top secret.
But what they found.
There's something dangerous on this mountain.
Holy shit. I just gotta, no, I know I paused it at a very unfortunate time. I just gotta point out that every time they're talking, it's a very static camera. Like, this screams student film, right? Student film budget.
There's something dangerous on this mountain. Some animal.
Was something the government would never tell us about. Oh my god! No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That was not a lightning bolt. That was Thor himself. That was Raiden, God of Thunder. That fence was smote. Oh, that fence was smote. Oh my god.
Sinead.
That's not music. What? Dramatic music. A klaxon is not music. I'm sorry.
Nora?
Creature which they have kept hidden from the world. Something which the government thinks could revolutionize warfare.
How can this thing become invisible?
Lycanthrope 611. And the Lord did look upon the secret military base, and it filled him with wrath, and he did smite it.
Everybody hold fast.
That's the same soldier we've seen in every scene. Is he the only soldier?
To do with his fur and what happens when moonlight hits him.
Target is cloaked.
It's a green screen. It's a green screen.
We can't see it.
Now the secret's out.
You must know by now that we will not get out of this facility tonight.
These people are above the law.
There are more deeper and darker secrets here than even you can imagine.
Please. Oh, I almost caught it. I almost caught it there. I was like, please, I need to snipe the creature. I need to see what it looks like.
These people are
How low budget we talking, baby?
Darker secrets here than even you can imagine.
Ah, I missed it. Damn it. All right, hang on.
Thing's gonna rip us apart. We won't even see it coming.
I know.
For your own safety, do not attempt to leave the shelter or the base perimeter. This specimen is extremely hazardous. We cannot...
Oh, baby. Oh, Oh, you poor thing. Oh. Oh, you poor thing. Oh. Oh. Shadow werewolf is sus. It's not even a shadow werewolf. It's a moon wolf. It's a moon werewolf. Because it's moonlight that makes it invisible. So why isn't it invisible now? Is that moonlight in its hair? Is that just a light source? Oh my god. Oh.
You enough about this. Please await further instructions.
Oh. Oh, that looks... Wait. Hang on. They renamed it? Look. It says it's named Pounce. But the title was Werewolf, and then the cover for it said Werewolf. Yeah, they renamed it. Oh, joy. Okay. Let's see. There are so many werewolf movies. Nice. Okay. Mark of the Werewolf from 2025. When fashion model Brooke Meadows ventures from New York City for a rural photo shoot, her glamorous world collides with unexpected... Okay. I'll keep reading. Give me a moment. Mark Meadows, fashion model and actress from New York City, goes on an excursion in the country for a photo shoot where things take an unexpected and sobering turn. Okay. I almost want to check this trailer out too. It just seems like it's going to be horror, dark, haunting. All right, hold on. Let's see. Is there another funny one? Or is there another one that looks like it could be interesting? Werewolf Massacre at Hell's Gate. Night Carnage. What? Hold on. Listen to the premise of this one off the bat. This is called Night Carnage. A blogger who is also a werewolf meets a dashing playboy with a dark secret of his own. Passion, murder, and terror are unleashed as they are pursued by a hunter of the undead. Vampires and werewolves. Like, what a premise start with a blogger who's also a werewolf, by the way. It's like, what? Wait, what? Hold on. Pause. Werewolf Island, the legend has bite. Werewolf, the beast among us, unrated. Red, werewolf hunter. Little red werewolf. Three roommates try to live normal life despite being a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost. Wait. Is the ghost visible by everyone else? Does the ghost have physical form and touch? Sensation? Can they eat? Wait, what? This is the worth for being human, by the way. All right. What do we want to look at? You know what? Let's look at A Werewolf in England and look at its trailer. That's from 2020. So we'll look at that one. And then... How long's the trailer? Okay, these are both pretty short trailers. Let's do this. Alright, so this is A Werewolf in England. Chat, A Werewolf in England. Are we sure this is a trailer, not the start of the show? I mean, it's a very, like... Hi! Hello there! Oh! Oh no! Oh no! That's a choice. That's a choice for sure.
Please forgive me, almighty beast, but this is all I can bring, oh ancient one.
This is the trailer?
The inn is full as you commanded, but these guests are not so easy to kill. I am old master, and we have served you for many years.
Again, I hate when... Okay, I get suit actors. I'm not, like, gonna throw you all under the bus. But the worst thing about suit actors is when they do the, I've got to move all the time. All the time. No creature does this, but I'll move all the time. All the time. Yes. Oh, yes.
But I can't deliver on our promise.
Ants in your pants. Yep.
Feast on them. Take our inn for yourselves. But I beg of you, spare me. Please spare me. Have mercy, master.
That was the trailer. That was the trailer? That's your trailer? Okay. 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 Mark of the Werewolf now. Then Mark of the Werewolf trailer. Next one.
I've already filled that role, Miss Meadows.
No, don't say that. I'm your lead for this movie.
Brooke Meadows, fashion model and actress from New York City.
Brooke
On an
Meadows.
excursion in the country for a photo shoot.
Beautiful.
But things take an unexpected and sobering turn.
The werewolf is summoned by a Black Forest witch.
That's enough, Tom.
Wolfie's going to get you.
What? Do you think they were actually attacked by a werewolf?
Sure, why not?
What? Yeah, 720p camera. Oh. Ah! Okay, so we can get worse than what we just saw. Oh no! Oh no! the second birthday werewolves.
Did you hear that?
Leading her into something more bizarre and deadly than anything she'll ever know in the city.
This will not do. Dismiss her.
Mark of the Werewolf. A new twist on an old tale.
Okay. 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 Oh. Alrighty. Okay, that one was 2025. 2015. 1996. 2018. The description of this one sounds really weird, so we'll take that one. Alright, I want to see this one just because it sounds so stupid. Let's do it. Alright. Next. Trailer for The Night Carnage. The Night Carnage, everyone.
There's something I gotta tell you about your bloodline.
This is about Van Helsing.
He was your great-great-grandfather. The Knights Society. They seek out and destroy the undead.
I think...
Man killed your great-great-grandfather. Extinguish all of them.
28 missing persons. We're dealing with multiple predators here. They were all last seen at Renfield's.
Listen up, people. We have location of his land. We need to move, and we need to move fast.
The werewolf.
Lycanthrope.
They exist.
That thing was badass.
I found him. He dies tonight. Go in,
Okay.
take him out, do some tests.
This girl that you want to rescue,
I wanted to know if I could have this dance.
maybe she doesn't want to be rescued. Who are you?
You're afraid of me.
Cheers up to the hero.
It's like... It's like a really poopy Under the Reckoning campaign. All right, let's do. Oh, this one's just literally called Werewolf as well. Okay. At least this one's actually werewolf still. Blaze and Nessa are outcast methadone users in their small town. Each day they push a rusty lawnmower door to door begging to cut grass. Nessa plots an escape, while Blaze lingers closer to collapse. Tethered to one another, their getaway dreams are kept on a suffocatingly short leash. Werewolf? So, a Hunter the Reckoning campaign. Ouch. No, don't start the actual movie. No. Oh, there is no trailer. That's why it started the actual movie. Okay, I understand. Well, never mind that. We won't do this one because that's the full movie. Werewolf Santa. After Santa is bitten on Christmas Eve, amateur monster hunter Lucy witnesses his transformation into a werewolf. Armed with only a rusty ice skate and a vague understanding of how werewolves operate, Lucy and her family set out to save Christmas. No! Show me the trailer. Thank you. A rusty ice skate, apparently, yes. Fuck off!
So, Monster Hunters, we have a rare full moon on Christmas Eve, and we're back in the park hunting werewolves.
Santa got bit by a werewolf.
Who's doing all that?
Silver bullets.
Santa's turned into a werewolf. Might need your help to save Christmas.
I'll grab my jacket.
Oh my god.
It's real.
Barricade your chimney. Because Santa isn't after milk and cookies. He wants to eat you. Oh, no! No! The short trailer. Also, the Santa didn't look anything like the werewolf in the thing. Oh my god. Okay. Blood of the werewolf's claw. Archaeology students discover the remains of a werewolf buried in an ancient monastery and use a dark magic spell to bring the creature back to life. Why? Why would you do that? Yeah. Oh, come on. I believe in you. All right. This is 2024, by the way. Visual vengeance.
This is Professor Timothy Barnes. He will be helping us to catalog the items we found in St. Augustus Monastery.
Are you sure you didn't mean 1994?
They found a very odd
Yeah.
book. It was bound in human flesh.
Just, the way he talked about that. They found a very old book, and it was bound in human flesh.
The book is supposed to be able to turn people into beasts.
Oh
I'd love to get my hands on that.
my god! Wow!
Students were killed last night.
Oh my god. What's happening to us?
Another student film. Another student film is at the cinema. Everybody abort! Another student film is at the cinema. Everybody abandon ship. It's over. It's over. It's over. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Man. Where the hell are the quality werewolf movies, damn it? Alright. Two more and we'll call it. First off, Little Red Werewolf. Very short trailer. It's only 58 seconds.
Something really bad happened last night. I saw her. It looked like she had been ripped into.
Bad enough these girls keep turning up every...
Well, let's already talk about production quality. It's already leagues better than the other films we've seen thus far.
full moon. Press would be spewing on about some wolfman kill.
You're nothing more than a piece of meat now.
Interesting transformation scene. Not terrible. You know? Not terrible. Werewolf in a women's prison. Hey, attempted transformation. Yeah, exactly. Again. And it wasn't terrible looking. Bleh. Yeah. Oh no! Visual vengeance again!
Jack! Jack! Wild animal!
Yeah, I know you do that to me, B.
Who are you, Mistress Rita? Where am I? In a state prison for the criminally insane.
I'm not crazy.
A werewolf killed your boyfriend.
You sound like a bad movie or something.
Are you sure this isn't like a soft core?
You can make things easy on yourselves.
I prefer you make it hard.
I'm an uncontrollable monster. You saw what I did to those people. Yeah, and they deserve to die.
I mean, the werewolf costume looks much better than the other visual vengeance films we've seen. But it's pretty dire.
Are you going to shoot her with silver bullets? When I looked into the eyes of the beast, I saw you, Sarah. What would the beast be without her beauty? I think she's gone.
I think she's gone. I hate that joke has been used so much because it's a funny joke when you set it up properly. You know what I mean? It's like something Cinema Snob would review. Yeah, absolutely. Holy shit, that was bad. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, fuck it. One more, because I don't want to end off on that one being our last one. That was rough as shit. Okay. Werewolf Castle. After a series of murders, Horace, Jane, and Archie are tasked by the local villagers to investigate strange goings-on at the nearby castle. Upon venturing to the castle, they uncover a pack of evil creatures that are hungry for blood. Did you get werewolves and vampires mixed up? Or is that what you're going for? Because we talked about it in my setting, like basically, like why are vampires actually follow the nobility thing and have like the counts, dukes, marshals, things like that, and it's like that came about later in his way to obfuscate things. Remember, that's what they talk about in Secrets of Redemption. All right, High Flyers Films.
I have seen my village fall.
What? What? I don't think this subtitle is working correctly. I don't think the subtitle is. I think the subtitle is drunk and needs to go home.
I have seen my village fall. My family destroyed. Watch my friends meet their deaths fighting, all for me to be here right now.
My people were slaughtered by an enemy that threatens us all. Wolves greater than them.
It's bad, but we've seen what rock bottom looks like, and she's gorgeous, by the way. It's pretty bad. But we've just witnessed worse, so you know.
Greeted them. They attacked from the Bragan forests like a dark army, unstoppable, ravenous for blood.
What is to be our quest?
Inform King Vortigern of our plight. You must plead with him to take action.
I can lead them to the castle.
You wish to put yourself in mortal danger.
I'll go.
I mean, it's an interesting premise, at least.
Run, Thorfinn. Find the king. You can still save us. Go. I can't do this alone.
Werewolf Castle. What are the subtitles doing? Hang on. I stopped watching the subtitle. Hold on. Hold on a second. I stopped watching the subtitles because they were just doing meaningless stuff. They weren't actually doing anything. And then the subtitles started having their own conversation. What the fuck just happened? Hold on. Hold on. Watch the subtitles real quick, chat. Please. That was too easy. What? Both laughing. What? That might have been easy, but how are you going to escape me? What? What if I don't want to escape you? What? 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 What the fuck? I think we found the drunkest subtitles of them all, chat. we have found the most drunken subtitles of them all. they're so drunk they're in the wrong movie. What the fuck? Like I said, I started ignoring them because they were meaningless, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, they had a conversation. I'm like, what? What the fuck? What? Okay. 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 Sure. Okay. Right, that happened. Mm-hmm. Oh. What is this, like super meta lore you only get in subtitles, like reading characters' thoughts? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, what the fuck? It's just like they weren't even remotely close. They weren't even remotely close. Like there wasn't even anything happening. It was just like birds chirping when people are having a normal conversation. It's like, what the fuck? Okay. Clearly the subtitles mean nothing. I'm going to ignore them from now on. Then I almost missed out on a conversation the subtitles were having. What in the fuck was that? Oh my god. Oh. Holy shit. They did bird chirping again. How far they did it twice. They just. I don't even. Oh my god. It's so. Oh. I don't understand. Okay, this one I want to see, because this one keeps getting recommended to me over and over again. We'll do this last one. It's called Howl, and it's about a train. Werewolves on a train, apparently. I know nothing else beside it, but I keep getting it recommended by Amazon. So, Film Rise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your guard speaking. I'd like to welcome you aboard the 2359 service to Eastborough.
Tickets, please. Can I see your ticket, please? Thank you.
It was such a great night. You should have been there.
This is the driver. Seems we hit something on the line. We should be on our way shortly.
Okay.
We seem to have broken down just outside Eastborough.
What does the driver say?
Is the train broken down or not?
He's working on it.
I
Can't be more than what, 2 miles walk?
We follow the tracks, we'll all stay together. I don't see there'd be a problem.
What is it?
Run!
Back on the train, everyone!
Go, go, go!
It's coming!
Owie.
We're just a train full of bear bait.
It wasn't a bear. Bears don't howl. It's back.
Oh, you ruined it at the end. The werewolves look terrible. It actually was genuinely interesting, but the werewolves look terrible. Darn it! Darn it! Damn! Damn! It was so close! So close! To be... But no, it actually looked like it was filmed well. I actually liked the atmosphere and everything. But yeah, then the reveal of what the werewolves looked like was brutal. So close. But not the worst werewolves either we've seen from the trailers, so, you know. Yikes. Yikes. Fuck it, I might as well do the rest of these. Maybe we'll find a gem, I don't know. Wait, this is from Universal? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Hold up. Did I see that? Did I see that right? That said Universal, right? Universal 100th anniversary? Werewolf, the Beast Among Us. That's what this one's called.
When the moon is full, the beast will be unstoppable.
From the studio that
launched a legacy of monster movies.
This wolfman must be stopped.
Comes an action-packed thriller when an evil beast is on the loose.
Deadlier than anything we've ever encountered.
They must band together.
No single hunter has ever been known to slay a beast like this.
For the ultimate hunt.
Take care of what needs to be done here. No guts, no glory.
Now.
Wait a tick. Wait a tick. Pause. Hold on.
Has ever been known to slay a beast like this.
For the ultimate hunt.
Take care of what needs to be done here. No guts, no glory.
Is that? Does that look suspiciously like it's not, but he looks so close to Richard Hammond, it hurts. It's not him, but it's and will now turn. It's not Richard Hammond. It's Richard Hammond's American cousin. Tough Gear versus werewolves would be hilarious.
Now. The legend is reborn. Werewolf, the beast among us.
Again, weird that it's from Universal. Very weird. All right, Werewolf Island. Let's go.
It's okay. It's over.
What was that?
I don't know.
Heard a lot of rumors about that island. None of it's any good.
You heard all the stories about that wolf curse or something like that?
You know these kids these days. They take a rumor or story, turn it into something to scare people.
One, hilarious. I paused it here. Two, were those Indians using little toy bows? Were those Indians using little toy bows? No. It was clearly set in like colonials fighting Indians.
Or something like that?
But I need to see the Indians' weapon. Hold on.
You know these kids these days. They take a rumor or story, turn it into something to scare people.
Okay. It's not the best bow. Or at least it's not the toy bow. I thought it was the toy bow. Well, this person clearly doesn't know how to use a bow. Because what the fuck are you doing? With your finger over the top. No. 1910s, yes. I was talking, Rapar was talking about the modern cops because he thought modern cops were fighting these guys. Yeah, at least it's wood. There's that, but get your finger off the top of the bow, like off the top of the arrow. What are you doing?
I did something bad. Long time.
Okay, to be fair, if she looked more wolf-like, I think I wouldn't have screamed in that situation. I've been like, oh yeah. Oh no. Hang on.
Take a rumor or story, turn it into something to scare people.
How'd you get in? How'd you get in here? Oh. What are you doing in my blankets?
I did something bad. A long time ago. I thought it would just go away.
Stay the hell off that island.
You tried to scare us, Stan? The curse is real.
I'm not buying any of it.
Okay. Pop. Pop. Oh. Oh. There is no trailer for this one. That's a shame. Here's the one that got recommended on the actual, like, forums and stuff like that. Apparently, The Boy Who Cried Werewolf comes from Nickelodeon, of all places, and people liked it a lot. Let's see. 2022, A Werewolf Cabal. Come here. This is the trailer for it. And then we'll end it off there. I don't know, I got vibing with these because they're just, some of these are so bad, it's too funny.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I understand you're from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is a far cry from our cozy little village.
I just came to check on my inheritance, that's all. See, your poor mother didn't deserve to die the way she did.
She was mauled to death by dogs.
Dogs?
It was no dog. Just calm down. It was no dog.
What do you do for a living, Michael?
I'm a writer.
You never thought of following another career path?
Writing is all I know. Not sure I'd be good at anything else.
I mean, again, production quality's not bad. I have an unfortunate feeling this werewolf's going to look terrible. But the production quality is way better than the vast majority we've seen thus far. The acting is on par.
Time to leave. Is there something you're not telling me?
What are your views on ancient mythology?
Werewolves don't exist.
Oh, attempted transformation sequence.
Look at the size of the coop.
Get me drunk out.
I sense danger in this man.
What was... No, the full... No, we don't need to worry about that. Did you hear her dialogue delivery? Hold on. Also, I want to see the werewolf. They showed it a couple times. They showed him a couple times.
Don't exist.
Well, look at the size of the coop.
Hot.
Get me drunk out.
Again, okay, not the worst we've seen, right? Because we've seen bad ones. It's pretty bad. Not the worst we've seen. It's pretty bad. But now listen to this woman's dialogue delivery. Listen very carefully.
I sense danger in this man.
I sense danger in this man. society. Thank you, AI robot. What is my purpose? To deliver dialogue in a low-budget werewolf movie. Oh, God. Oh. There are so many more movies. There are so many more movies. Shaky shivers? Oh my God, the I Am Lisa movie. I had mentally blocked that movie out, and it's back. No. Oh. Man, there are so many of them. Holy shit. Fuck off. What? Why do you keep doing this? Amazon, fuck off. Okay, so this one was had a transformation sequence they were showing. Okay. Alright. It's called Shaky Shivers. Cineverse. Bloody disgusting. Screenbox original. Jackrabbit Media. How many...
Karen, what happened last night? What was that? Oh my God. I killed Eric. So you don't remember anything from...
Actually, okay. That was amusing, at least.
last night? The last thing I remember is that you shot Eric, and then I just woke up totally naked. What if you had sex with a wolf? Karen! So what you're telling me is that there's another full moon tonight? Yes. Do I have face? Jesus. What? You need to floss more. This is bull. You really want to go? We don't have any other option. Transfusion. You need to clean your blood. No. This is dumb because we're not gonna find. Oh, curing the werewolf virus.
I must look pretty terrible.
Yeah. No. No.
What are you guys doing out here?
Well, that's kind of a long story too.
Can't be any stranger than mine.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's quite a doozy.
You guys are so silly.
Asian guy from Fast and the Furious. Well, okay.
No. You're gonna live. I got it.
Again, actually looks charming. Looks charming and derpy and goofy, and actually has production quality to it. That's... you know what? Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I think that one could actually be interesting. So we'll keep that one on the side. All right, Monster Wolf. Monster Wolf.
Ah! 6, 8, 10. I don't know.
You don't know.
You look good. So you ain't gonna invite me in?
What's the point? I'm only here for 3 days.
A lot can happen in 3 days.
A lot is not gonna happen in 3 days.
The Katrina where?
What's he talking about?
A native legend. It's a boogeyman that parents use to scare their children.
I need you to kill a wolf for me.
Who's the wolf? The more people you bring, the more that will die.
Fire in the hole! All right, gentlemen. Are you looking for a wolf?
Suit up. We're going hunting.
Shoot it! Shoot it, you witch!
Okay. Owie! Owie! Ow! Ow, 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 ow! Okay, that hurt. Oh, it takes head death to a whole new level. Alright, Wolf Garden. And this one got really low ratings. Locked inside a shed. Okay, Gravitas Ventures? Lightning Strike Pictures.
They say a long time is good for the soul. But too much can lead you down a dark path.
It visually looks nice. They're trying.
I'd always take care of her.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
These little moments of fate that bring us crashing down to where we are.
You will always look after me, won't you, William?
They're getting closer, you know.
Please, you can't let it happen again.
Whatever happens, we're gonna get through this together.
Do you have any idea right now what's going on? But you do know, deep down, you know.
I love you so much.
Wait, so they're both werewolves? The trailer was okay. You know what I mean? The trailer was okay. But, yeah. Oh. Honey, must you consume the flesh of humans? You don't know where that's been. All right. All right, chat. Enough dilly-dallying. We there are hundreds more. Yep. Hundreds more. All of them seeming to be very, very low budget. Absolutely. Anyways, chat. Tomorrow, well, I don't know what we'll do tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. That's what you're getting out of me. Okay? I don't know. That's where we'll have to leave it. Oh, but this Saturday, for Saturday Showtime, we'll be watching The Bad Guys 2, and I haven't seen it yet. So, that will be interesting. It'll be fresh watch for me. Likely fresh watch for a bunch of people. So, we'll see. In the meantime, hope you take care. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe and healthy. Get fit, get ripped. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Yep. Bye-bye for now, everyone. Ah, my holes. The holes in my mouth. I got to go clean them. Bye-bye.